Welcome to Rope Break, a wrestling podcast. I'm Alex. As you have seen, the brothers Shaw and Peter are not available today. But I wanted just to come to talk about professional wrestling. I heard people saying that wrestling is trash right now, and they can say that. And how Triple H is doing a horrible job, Tony Khan is doing a horrible job. We have people not wanting to be in the WWE, wanting to be on the independent scene even more than wanting to be WWE superstars, which is truly unheard of. Andrade jumping ship, getting fired, showing up on AEW the next few days. Santos Escobar supposedly not signing a contract, and then at the end of the day, he did sign the contract. We are in a crazy time of wrestling, but I hear a lot of people saying Triple H is dropping the ball with the World Wrestling Entertainment aspect, and that Tony Khan is letting the inmates run the asylum. And I seem to think people are so young or they didn't watch wrestling in the 80s and they don't really understand that wrestling has up periods and down periods. We had an up period with The Rock when he came back and we had Cody finishing his story, but the bloodline was so interesting. And I really think a number of things played into that. Number one was the pandemic. The pandemic hit. Everyone was watching something on television because we really couldn't go outside. We really couldn't do the things we really wanted to do. So you might have got a glimpse in wrestling and you watched a little bit of it and you were like, oh, that's kind of interesting. This Roman Reigns fellow and this mafia type bloodline. And if you did watch wrestling ever, you get a taste. You know who some of the bloodline members are. If you watched in the 80s, you know who Rikishi was when he was just Fatu, and you know who the Raul Samoans are. And then if you watch in the 90s, you obviously know Rikishi, and you know Haku, you know the Barbarian, you know all the people that were in it. And you might not have known their children, but you knew who they were. It was easy to get into. So it led into what was the big renaissance of wrestling. Vince left, that also got eyes into wrestling because it was on the national news that Vince McMahon was doing nefarious things with people. It was crazy. And we look at that and we're like, oh, wrestling is low. It's never been so low. And I would like to totally beg to differ. 1984, when Vince had Hogan won the world title from the Iron Sheik, the Real American thing, and they took that. WrestleMania 1 hit. Wrestling was big. It was something special. WrestleMania 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 was the pinnacle. Hogan Warrior, Ultimate Challenge, passing of the torch. The next year, the torch came back to Hulk Hogan, to a record low for Hulk Hogan. They even had to change the venue of WrestleMania 7. So, from WrestleMania 1 to WrestleMania 7, not even 7, 6. By WrestleMania 7, no one was watching wrestling. No, it was done. Then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe WrestleMania 15. That's when people started to come. But wrestling was it was at a low point. And then it was at a high point in 96, 97, 98, 99, 2001, 2002. We can push it there. Then after that, it was done. It was a low point. We were at a low point. Cena's entire run was a low point for professional wrestling. Sorry, not sorry. His entire run was, but outside of that, wrestling was doing good. We had TNA. They were doing lovely things. Off and on, obviously. New Japan. We had the rise of AEW. But wrestling was just, those of us who love it, we never stopped watching it because we always looked for it. It's our comfort. It's a pillow for us. We love pro wrestling. I love pro wrestling, I can say that. But after that, it was over. You ask yourself, they say SmackDown. SmackDown isn't fun. No one wants to watch SmackDown. You can't say SmackDown's bad when you look at the base of SmackDown was Roman Reigns. Can't say Triple H is doing a bad job because I don't even think Triple H is running the show. Triple H is a figurehead. I think we have Mark Shapiro. We have Mr. Khan, Nicholas Khan, if you will, baby. Nick Khan, all these other people, they're more involved. The Rock, even. They're more involved. By the way, go watch Smash Machine, people. Watch it right now. Watch it right now. Right now. But all these people, they have more power than what I think we see. We see people like New Jack, Abyss, people that have nothing to do with anything being in WWE products. Mainly I'm talking about WWE 2K25. New Jack was X'd. No pun intended. Actually, pun was intended. He was X'd out of the WWE. He never wrestled there. He was an ECW guy, an indie guy, a hardcore guy. He wasn't a WWE guy at all. But I heard that Nick Khan liked him because Nick Khan likes wrestling. So he's like, at least when he was young, he liked wrestling. And he's like, I want to see him here. And the next thing you know, he's in the game. Abyss, I don't think he works there. I mean, he works there, but what does it matter? He's never been on their television. Yes, they have a partnership with TNA, but it's not even on mainstream WWE television. It's on the best show that they produce, which is NXT. Thank you, Sean. But I think they just let Sean and the rest of the bookers and the writers do their thing. But when it comes to Raw, there's people they want to see. Every star on SmackDown is not on SmackDown. We only have one, like Cody. Drew's gone shooting a movie. The entire Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Paul Heyman, the original Bloodline, besides Sami Zayn and Solo Sikoa, are all on Monday Night Raw. The draws are Roman Reigns. So obviously that's a ploy for Netflix because they moved everything in the United States to ESPN when it comes to the mainstream PLEs. Peacock is just doing NXT and Saturday Night's Main Event. Cena is on Raw. Cena spent most of his time on SmackDown, but he's on Raw. Brock's on SmackDown, I guess, but Brock is definitely an attraction. He's not a main storyline guy. He's a come in, F5 suplex. That's it. What we're doing is saying SmackDown's bad, but SmackDown doesn't have anyone. SmackDown is basically NXT with a little bit bigger stars. We have Bianca. Who's there? Where is she? I haven't seen her. They have Tiffany. Sorry. The Tiffany Stratton experience sucks. It's over. She's a heel. Let that girl be a heel that gets cheered, but let her be a heel. Her as a babyface doesn't work. The babyface is Rhea. Rhea's over. Rhea's the biggest star they have in the company. She can go anywhere. Rhea's bigger than Cody. Rhea's more money than Cody. Rhea's younger than Cody. She has more mouths than any man that's at the top of the card of the World Wrestling Entertainment because Braun Breaker isn't at the top of the card. Sorry, guys, he's not. Everyone at the top of the card is in their 40s. Early 40s, mid 40s, late 40s, top of the card. That's it. Cena, Jay, Jimmy, Rock, all of them. Rock's in his 50s. Brock Lesnar. Come on now. But that leaves SmackDown dry. SmackDown has nobody. Nobody that's a name. Nobody that people want to put their eyeballs on. Julia is an amazing star. But there's so many WWE fans that don't watch anything other than WWE. Now in AEW, that's a totally different story. Totally different deal. They had the perfect element with heel Hangman. You can make him the guy. To me, Hangman, the heel character, not the babyface character. The heel character of Hangman. The upset, angry cowboy that a man went in his house and took his family from him. Almost took everything from him. As a father, I totally was like, okay, that's the character. I like that version of Hangman. They changed the music back. He came out the babyface tunnel and it was over. He doesn't resonate. Choke him out, Joe. I know it's not going to happen, but choke him out, Joe. The anti-hero is what people want. Babyface Cody doesn't work. Super babyface Hangman doesn't work. Swerve was over. Ospreay's super babyface, but he's rugged. He has something about him. It's like, oh, okay. Bruv is the man. Bruv might be the guy. That's not Hangman. Hangman's come out, say a little cuss word, but he still comes out. He's the kiss the baby type of guy. The heel character of Hangman. Make him a heel. Make him that character. Put the music back. Make him look rough again. Make him coming out just in a daze, goes to a place. He doesn't have to come out like the happy cowboy. No. Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't change. Austin was still Austin. He was just the heel character put in a babyface situation. That's what people want to see. We don't want to see the white meat babyface. That era's done. Cena got booed the majority of his career because of that. That's not okay. You can have an edgy babyface. There's nothing wrong with it. Everyone's cursing. I heard tonight, because I am filming this during SmackDown, but I'm gonna watch SmackDown because I know SmackDown was taped. And I have SmackDown as well. I've watched it. I'll watch it on the VPN. Thank you, Stephanie, for saying it's okay. Future Hall of Famer, Stephanie McMahon Helmsley. But no, we got Jacob Fatu saying the S word, the shit. There's curse words every other night, every other day on AEW. Everybody's flipping the bird. Why are we still trying to push this white beat babyface as the champion? It doesn't work. Roman Reigns was over. Roman was a heel. His character is still a heel. Right now, he was over. He was over. People cheered bad Cena, but we cheered Cena just because it was it's thank you. You gave so many years, miles off your life. You gave it to us. We said thank you, man. And that was it. He deserved it. I don't get why we are sitting here trying to push two characters within Cody Rhodes and Hangman Adam Page to the moon as champions. It's good to see a babyface chase. It sucks to see a babyface be the champ. That hasn't worked since Hogan, his first run. It won't work ever again because people don't see the world that way, especially in the world we're living in. It doesn't work. Neither one of those characters work. So someone change that. Take the belts off of him. Seth's killing it. Best of his whole career I think he's ever been. TNA, they're doing a great thing. Mike Santana is not a white meat babyface. He has some edge to him. He has some sauce. Santana can be something. And he's going against Trick, who's over a heel babyface. Trick might not have it all in the ring, but Trick has character. He has charisma. And that's something where someone can start with. So shout out to TNA for doing the right thing. Shout out to Shawn Michaels for putting the belt on Ricky Saints. Ricky's going to kill it. I'm not too wrapped up in this JC Jane angle. JC Jane being the champion. I heard she got injured. I hope that she's not on the shelf. I hope it's not a major injury. I hope she can recover. But I'm not loving her championship reign. To me, I just feel like it should have been Mandy. Yes, I know Mandy's making way more money now than she had ever dreamt of. Softcore Mandy, because she's softcore. She's softcore. But softcore Mandy is doing her thing. But I feel like Toxic Attraction, even with Jasmine Nix leaving, is still going to be, Fatal Influence is Toxic Attraction light. We need Mandy Rose there. But they still have people, Blake Monroe, Mariah May, she has her whole thing ahead of her. Jordan Grace, whenever they're ready to pull the trigger on Jordan. Jada Parker, whenever they're ready to pull the trigger on her. And they have so many people that they can just kind of, hey, sign a short term here with TNA, then we'll pull you over to NXT. The Hardy Boys might be coming back for their final WWE run, and hopefully they'll retire like Team 3D should be doing, the Dudley Boys, very soon. But I do want to say that just big ups to Shawn Michaels for being the heartbreak kid in every aspect. He's breaking hearts in the ring. He's broken hearts on the booking committee. He's doing his thing in creative. He's the guy. Tony Khan, I want to talk about him for a second. Dude, you have so much in your hand. Please come up with one major angle. Two major angles. This is all over. Two major angles. A lot of two majors, two minors. That's all that needs to be on a show. You can have matches, short matches. But that's the only thing. The main event can be long if you want it. It can be a 5-star Meltzer banger. But please stop having a million angles going on Dynamite and Collision. Not everybody's keeping up with everything. A show needs to have a point to where the show revolves around it. It needs to have a center. If we all remember in the 80s and in the 90s. In the 80s, wrestling was just kind of like cuts. You know, we didn't have shows where it was a whole show because we would have superstars and everything like that. But if you watched USWA, which I grew up on, it was an hour-long show. So it was just like, it was still clippings. You know, something might happen at the beginning, and then what happened at the beginning, we might get a follow-up in the middle, and then there'll be a big ending, and either the heel or the babyface would get one up on each other. And it was similar to that in WCW or, you know, NWA, depending on the year of when you were watching the show, Jim Crockett Promotions, whatever. I feel that formula made WCW and Monday Nitro and WWF Monday Night Raw, and made them so big because we still had that. The show would start. You hear the NWO come out, Hogan say something crazy, and then it would set up for maybe a match of Scott Hall versus Diamond Dallas Page. And then in the middle of the show, Diamond Dallas Page would come out and say something, woo 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 monkey, you're gonna feel the bang, and then there would be a beatdown. And during all that, we would see clippings of the NWO, and then, we would talk about it. Wrestling shows need a focal point. Raw, in the 90s, the exact same way. We had Stone Cold would come out. Triple H would cut a 20-minute monologue. Not that long, but it would be long. Triple H would say something, but then we would have those things where it would be throughout the show. You can come in the middle, but you would still know this is what happened and this is the focal point. We set up for this, and then we have backstage segments to help, and we'd have other segments too for the smaller angles, but the larger angles would be the focal point of the whole show. How many times have I turned on AEW and the show starts at 8, it's 2 hours, that means it ends at 11. My mind is messed up. It ends at 10. The show ends at 10, and I show up at 9, and the main event's on at 9, and then there's like a strange Orange Cassidy match as the main event. Why? Bro, you have everything. You have the young people. I just stated that the top of the WWE card is in their 40s. Early to mid to late. Early to late 40s. Come on now. Some of them are retiring. AJ Styles, John Cena, to be a couple of them. Cena this year, Styles next year. So many things you have. You have so many young names, talented people who understand indie wrestling. And they have so many people back there, like Dean Malenko, who understands television wrestling. You get those guys. You get the people that understand the television, the people that understand the indies. They put their minds together. They have the youth. You have wrestling in the bank for everyone. Because let's be honest, the WWE is about to price out everyone that is a working man. They're going to make the WWE a traveling, super expensive, elitist type circus. I know that pretty soon I'm not going to be able to afford to go to wrestling because I will not pay $500 for a middle seat at Raw. I'm not doing that. No, that's retarded, for lack of a better term. That would be a mistake. But I can see the WWE going that way because that's what they want to do. AEW has the chance to do the smaller venues, to make it a more intimate thing, and to make it affordable for us. AEW, I live in Louisville, Kentucky. Please come back. I want a show. Get Broadbent Arena. Get one of these other places around. 2,000 venue place. 2,000 people venue. We don't need anything too crazy. But this is your opportunity, especially when WWE starts doing more events in Australia, Saudi Arabia, these bidding wars. Come on. I understand you're all out, you're all in. That's fine. But your dynamites, your collisions, you need to bring it to us. Bring it to the people. Make it affordable. Make it so we can have the time of our lives. Put the product out here. You keep on going to Chicago. You keep on going to Florida. You keep on going to places that you know you're going to make the money. But since you're going to a smaller venue, you're going to smaller places, let the people know. Let us talk about it. Word of mouth travels. So many people I know have never been to an AEW show. I know a lot of people have been to a WWE show. I know a lot of people that can't afford to go to a WWE show ever again. I've been to 2 WWE shows this year. I spent over $800 just on those 2 shows alone. I spent over like $700, just to be honest, just on the Royal Rumble itself. I'm not including travel. I'm including like tickets, and they were not up close. They were pretty far up there. But I understand it's the Rumble. But I heard Cena's, if you want to see Cena's final match at the Saturday night's main event, you're going to have to sell a lung or a kidney or something. And that's just to get into the door, not front row. You're going to have to sell somebody else's kidney and yours. But AEW, this is your chance. With WWE focusing on out of country, out of the States, Saudi Arabia, Vegas. Not that Vegas is out of the country, but they're focused on Saudi Arabia. They're focused on who the highest bidder. This is your time to be the people's champ. Be the people's champ, Tony Khan. Be the man that we want to be like. Tony's our guy. Triple H is a figurehead. For other people, he's a figurehead for the elite. He's a figurehead for the people that got the money. Tony Khan, you got the money, but you're one of the people. Show us. But that's all I got to say. I'm Alex. Remember, if you can't make it to the ropes, time for a rope break, baby. Actually, I said that totally wrong. But remember, don't tap out. You can always make it to the ropes for a rope break. I'm out.